Here's the thing. You need to hear. At some point in life, you start realizing something uncomfortable. Not everyone around you is good for you. And that doesn't always mean they're bad people. Sometimes, they're just distractions. People you've known for years, people you laugh with, people you talk to every day, can slowly pull you away from the person you're trying to become. And the scary part is, you don't notice it immediately, because it feels normal. You hang out, you waste time together, you talk about random things for hours, and in the moment, it feels harmless. But over time, you realize something. You're always around people, yet, somehow, you're not growing. That's when it starts to hit you. Some friendships are built around comfort, not progress. And comfort is dangerous, because comfort keeps you where you are. Now listen carefully. This doesn't mean you suddenly hate everyone. It doesn't mean you become arrogant or think you're better than people. That's not the point. The point is awareness. You need to ask yourself, do the people around me bring out the best in me? Or do they encourage distraction because energy spreads, mindsets spread, habits spread? If everyone around you wastes time, eventually, you start doing the same. If everyone around you avoids responsibility, you slowly normalize it too. That's how environment works. Quietly, without you realizing, and most people never question it. They stay around the same energy their whole life. Then wonder why nothing changes. I've noticed this too. Sometimes the biggest distraction isn't your phone. It's the people around you. Not because they're evil, but because they keep you mentally stuck. You talk about goals, but nobody takes action. You all complain together, but nobody changes, and after a while, that becomes your reality. Now here's the difficult part. Growth requires distance sometimes. Not disrespect. Distance. You don't have to announce it dramatically. You don't need to argue with people, you just slowly start protecting your time. Talking less, focusing more, choosing peace over constant noise. And at first, it feels lonely, because you're no longer constantly distracted. You're finally alone with your thoughts. And most people avoid that feeling. That's why they stay surrounded by noise. Not because it helps them, but because silence feels uncomfortable. But silence is important. That's where clarity comes from. That's where you start understanding yourself. What you want, what matters, what needs to change. And once you start focusing on yourself, everything becomes different. Your thinking changes, your habits improve, you become more intentional, not overnight, slowly. You stop wasting energy trying to impress people, you stop needing validation for everything, you start building quietly. And honestly, that's powerful, because real growth usually happens in silence. Nobody claps for the early stages. Nobody notices when you're improving slowly. And that's okay. You're not doing it for attention. You're doing it because you're tired of staying the same. Now, another important thing. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean becoming selfish. It means becoming responsible for your own life, your future, your mindset, your direction. Because at the end of the day, nobody else can fix your life for you. Your friends can support you, but they can't do the work for you. That part is yours. And sometimes you have to choose growth, even if other people don't understand it. That's normal. People will say things like, "You changed. You're boring now. You never hang out anymore." But what they usually mean is, you stopped being available for distraction. And that makes people uncomfortable, especially when they're not improving themselves. But don't let guilt stop you. You're allowed to focus on your future. You're allowed to protect your energy. You're allowed to outgrow environments that no longer help you grow. That's part of life. Now, this doesn't mean you should completely isolate yourself. Good people matter. Real friends matter. The right people can motivate you, push you forward, make life better. But there's a difference between real connection and constant distraction. Learn that difference, because one helps you grow. The other keeps you stuck. And the older you get, the more valuable your time becomes. You start realizing you can't give your energy to everyone. You have to be selective, not cold, just intentional. That's maturity. And honestly, once you truly start focusing on yourself, something changes. You feel calmer, more clear, less dependent on people's opinions. You stop chasing attention. You start chasing progress. And progress feels better anyway, because deep down, you know you're finally moving forward. Maybe slowly, but genuinely. Before I end, just remember this. You don't need to hate people to outgrow them. Sometimes, you just need to choose your future over constant distraction, and that decision alone can change your entire life. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.